I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Tonight's presentation on the National Racing Network is presented in part by the Bizzle Beer Fund, the Bizzle Buzz Fund, whatever, the Seville Qualifying Cheese and Wine Appreciation Society, the iRacing Forums Potatoes Club of Kutztown, and viewers like you. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. Tonight it will be the stars and cars of the SimSpeedShop.com Premier Series for the Sim Racers Club, taking on Watkins Glen International here in the Finger Lakes region of New York. My name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us here tonight. In the booth, in the race car, I guess, and in the booth will be our good buddy, Mr. Patrick Byrne. And Bizzle, I'll tell you what here, brother. Watkins Glen International is a difficult place in these race cars. But how about the track record? I know it's old. I know it's an irrelevant car, but good God, 59 seconds around this place? That's ridiculous. I guess he's not here. Guess he's getting ready to go qualifying. Anyway, Davy Jones' lap time set in 1992 in an MSIT GTP Jag averaged a tick over 150 miles an hour for the lap speed, and just absolutely ridiculous. Quickest thus far in practice here tonight is Braden Carroll at a best lap time of 1 minute 11.247. But practice is over, and it is time to get ready to roll here for qualifications. Let's fire up the graphics so you can see where your favorite is as they make their way out onto the racetrack. And first, let's take a look here, and we'll pick up, Johnny Avila, pilot in car number 63 out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada for Will Worsler Racing. The Team ZSS.com entry, the Zeem Speed Shop entry, the number 63 here this evening. He's going to head his way back to pit road, so let's take a look and find, let's see. We get the 33 of Dean Gagliano making his way out onto the racetrack out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin for Gundog Motorsports, Rufus Sport MMA, and Married Mechanical on the side of his Chevrolet Camaro here this evening. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you very much for all of you coming to hang out with us here this evening. I know, there's some real-world stuff going on in Kutztown tonight. Hyper Racing 600 Speed Week is a pretty big deal, and the World of Outlaws at BAPS Motor Speedway, Susquehanna, the old Susquehanna Motor Speedway, here this evening. Last I heard, it was a rain delay at BAPS, so enjoy the show here with us in 115 600 micros up at Kutztown. Kyle Busch locking himself into tonight's A main feature through qualifications and the heat race, and just an absolutely stacked field. Big names not even making it out of the C main here tonight, which is pretty wild. We'll give you the updates on that one. If you're so interested, give us a shout in the comments. Let us know if you want the updates from Kutztown, BAPS, or anywhere else. Sounds like we have, let's see, there he is, the number 27 Team Watson Racing Setups Ford Mustang for the Bizzler, Mr. Patrick Byrne. He's out on the racetrack now. National Racing Network and Team Watson Racing Setups on the side of that 27 machine. You're not going to miss it, that's for sure. Looks like
this thing is an eyesore.
Yeah, it looks like Team Watson Racing threw up on your car and you just said, leave it.
That's pretty much exactly what it is. It is a graffiti scheme painted very kindly by Zach Scottnicki. Huge shout out to him. We ran this scheme at Daytona earlier this season. Now we're bringing it back out for another road course here in the Sim Racers Club.
Yeah, it didn't go so well for you down there in Daytona the first time this season.
It went fantastic. I got a top 5 finish. I beat Johnny Avila, which is the only goal I have for tonight. If he gets wrecked out and parks at lap 1, I will park this car lap number 2, and that'll be it.
That's awesome. AJ Digby going top of the charts, 1 minute 12.249 seconds. 0.8 of a second back is Tyler Seville. See what Bizzle's able to do here on lap number 1. Fifth quick, not a bad lap. 1 minute 13.768.
There's another second in this car. I just got to focus and put it down this lap.
Nice and clean up through the S's. Carrying a bunch of speed. Out of turn number 4, Johnny Avila, quick time, 1 minute 12.176. Oh, buddy. You're not looking for a second now, bud. You're looking for about a second and a half. Tyler Seville up to the 3rd position. Andrew Mraz slots into 4th on the grid, 112.674.
I know I can't beat Johnny on pace, but I know I can beat him on just not spinning out.
That's true. Survival could be a name of the game here, as we're looking at 22 cars on the entry list here tonight, and no cautions, even at the stage breaks, which will come at lap number 15 and 35. But cautions are off. See what the lap's going to look like here for the Bizzler. Picks up 4 tenths. Good for
not what I can do, but
good for 10th quick. As we'll pick Braden Carroll as he goes quick time, 1 minute 11.996. That's ridiculous. That race car is flying around here this evening.
yeah, Braden Carroll doing a lot of practice this week.
Johnny Avila did no practice, and he just went quicker. 1 minute 11.741. So continue there, buddy. Say here talking about Braden Carroll and all his laps of practice.
Yeah, I was hanging out with those guys in the Express Esports Discord, and we were all turning laps practicing, and they were kind of leaving me in the dust a little bit. That's why I kind of took my goals back from winning this race, and I just want to beat Johnny Avila. That's the only goal tonight. Because there are some really, really quick drivers. Braden Carroll going new quick time.
Wow, 1 minute 11.445. That race car is crazy fast. New paint scheme on the side of the 43 for Wilkesboro, North Carolina's Richard Fletcher, driving for Will Worsler Racing. Takes the U.S. Air Force colors off the side of the car, and instead it's going to be a Klondike bar. What would you do for a Klondike bar, Bizzle?
I would probably beat Richard Fletcher for it.
Yes.
He's got him on the side of his car. I think that's all I have to do.
Possibly. Just about everybody has finished qualifications. Looks like Roger Rios is on the racetrack, but has not yet started his qualification run. We'll follow the first of 2 laps here for Richard Fletcher. Then we'll pick up Roger Rios. Also see the name Jordan Barry on your timing and scoring screens this evening, at least in the results and those kinds of things. Jordan will not be racing tonight. He is one of the league administrators, joining as a driver instead of a watcher here this evening. But Fletch was talking a little bit in the pre-race about managing expectations and saying that he, pretty sure he's going to be lapped. How do you get yourself lapped? It is really an important thing to pick up for a lot of these drivers, because if you're off the pace, it's not as simple as just saying, here, have the spot. You can actually screw up somebody's lap, or worse, in trying to be nice.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to get lapped around here. There's not a lot of spots where you can make it easy on another driver, and the worst thing you can do is, especially coming out of the carousel, if you hit the brakes and try and exit way low, let whoever's trying to pass you go to the outside, a lot of times that's not what they're going to do. They're going to be carrying a lot more speed. They're going to be able to get on the brakes and try and cross you under and get underneath you and make the pass that way. So the best thing you can do is just drive your own line, pretend that car is not there lapping you, and they'll find a way around you.
Yeah, that was something that took me a long time to figure out, was how do you want to be considerate, but you can't screw people up in the process. And quite frankly, it's an easy thing to do. As we see Roger Rios go 12th quick with his first lap, 1 minute 13.068. Taking a look at the championship standings heading into tonight's race. It is a runaway at the front of this thing. Kevin Dick holding a 42-point advantage over Johnny Avila with just 6 races left to go here, including tonight. From there, though, 3 Will Worsler racing cars trying to chase him down. Johnny Avila, 42 points back. Hunter Waters and Tyler Seville tied for third, 43 points back. But it's sort of like we talked about last week, and especially here at a road course tonight, Bizzle. It's almost like the team effort has to be keep as many of us ahead of Kevin Dick as we possibly can, because 42 points is a huge number to try to make up.
Yeah, you're getting into I've got to win every week, and Kevin Dick has to have a really, really bad couple of weeks. Johnny Avila was joking with us either last week or 2 weeks ago about having to buy Kevin a bunch of soccer tickets and get him out to some soccer games on Wednesday nights. That's about his only hope anymore.
Yeah, I think that might be the extent of where things go here. As qualifications are complete, it is time to go racing here at Watkins Glen International. Let's take a look here, and we will pick up, let's see. Yeah, we can use that camera. Since we're all ready to go here, let's show you tonight's starting grid. On the pole will be the number 24 of Braden Carroll, TeamZSS.com. On the side of that entry for the Layton, Utah native, driving for Zeem Speed Shop and Money Shift Media. Lining up on the outside of row number 1 will be the underglowy number 63 of Johnny Avila out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada for Will Worsler Racing, TeamZSS.com on the side of his Chevrolet Camaro. Row number 2 will have the 14 of Alliance, Ohio's AJ Digby. I remembered
Got it, finally.
Finally. Driving for Will Worsler Racing, he will line up alongside of the number 52 Custom Paints and Diecast Chevrolet of Canada's Kevin Dick. Row number 3 will have the Mach 5 design. Number 5 of Aguadilla, Puerto Rico's Roger Rios, driving for Riot Motorsports, also sponsored by Superior Templating and Sim Coaches. Outside of row number 3 will be the 11 of West Virginia's Tyler Seville, driving for Will Worsler Racing. Summertime Chubbies and Hunter's Fried Pickles adorn the side of his Toyota Camry. Row 4 will be the boss man of Will Worsler Racing, Will Worsler, in the Bulldog Roofworks number 29, alongside of the number 45 of Andrew Mraz out of East Lansing, Michigan, driving for Riot Motorsports, Sim Coaches, Superior Templating, and Riot Motorsports Customs on the side of that number 45 entry here this evening. Row 5 will be the 42 of Quinton Clark, doing a little bit of a sponsor swap with Roger Rios. Clark out of Haymarket, Virginia, driving for Riot Motorsports. He will have superior templating on the side of that car, along with Wolfeld on Spotify, Mach 5 Design, and Sim Coaches. Hunter's Fried Pickles, number 7 of the fastest pickle in the South, Newburgh, Indiana's Hunter Waters, driving for Will Worsler Racing with Law Chevrolet on the side of that number 7 machine as well here this evening. A little bit of underglow there out of Hunter Waters too. Not sure how I feel about that, but it's a thing. 77 of Pennsylvania's Andrew Moore Jr. will line up inside of row number 6 alongside the number 28 Woodfather Chevrolet of Troy Haight. Row 7, oh God, there's a purple underglow underneath of this car.
Hell yeah.
The Team Watson Racing Setups National Racing Network entry of the Bizzler, Patrick Byrne. He will line up alongside the Mountain Dew Zero Sugar number 4 of Lee Campbell. Row 8, the Rayos Homemade number 89 Ford Mustang of Jeff Yenish, and the Cleveland Wrap number 2 of Michael Larch on row number 8. Row 9 will be the JW Racing number 8 of Justin Rideout alongside of the Fleet Farm number 33 of Dean Gagliano out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Row number 10, the 19 of Tom Wilhite alongside of the 59 of Jim Thorndike. Richard Fletcher all alone in the Klondike number 43 machine out of Wilkesboro, North Carolina. United States Air Force also on the side of that machine. And the ugliest Days of Thunder car I have ever seen. I'm going to screen grab this for you, Bizzle, because Jordan Barry's paint scheme
I'm looking right at it. I've got the screen up on my second screen.
It's fantastic. It is so atrocious.
I love it.
It's beautiful. Field making their way through the final couple of corners as we get ready for the start. Pace truck is in. Green flag's going to go in the air, and we are underway here at Watkins Glen. A little bit of a wide run. A little bit of a wide run there at turn number 1 for Johnny Avila. Going to be locked in a tight battle with AJ Digby, Kevin Dick, and Roger Rios. This field starts making their way out onto the back straightaway. Lap number 1 about to go in the books, and it will be Braden Carroll leading that lap. Tightest battle we're going to have on the racetrack will be right here between Tyler Seville and Andrew Mraz. Mraz has the look down the inside. The big dive down the hill into turn number 1. That 90-degree corner is tough, and Mraz going to slide a little wide. Seville crosses back under. They'll stay side by side through the S's. Wise move there by Andrew Mraz to get that singled out. I just went, who is the clown going side by side through the S's? And it's Bizzle.
Hi.
I'm over here now.
I've done a lot of AI races over the course of the past 3 weeks. I've been practicing that move. You set them up into the first S, and they usually back out by the time you get to the left-hander in the S's.
Well, we'll see if anybody is going to fall for that one later in the race. Possibly some trouble here for Mike Large. Just a little bit slow through the bus stop. Let's see, where do we have the best battle here? It's going to be Tyler Seville, Andrew Mraz, and Hunter Waters. Jordan Barry saying, I guess I loaded in as a driver. Oops. That's all right, buddy. Braden Carroll, new fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 12.005. Everybody playing nicely here. Have the word from race control. Stages will be at lap number 15 and 35, and there will be no cautions here tonight. That includes stage breaks and organic cautions. They are outright disabled. Bizzle, does that change how you approach the race at all, knowing that you're not going to get a yellow? I mean, obviously, most road courses you wouldn't get one, but...
No, it doesn't change it at all. The plan was always to just make this a one-stop race past the halfway point, pull into the pits, fill her up with fuel, put some fresh tires on it, and send it.
Yeah, pretty much that's kind of sounds like what the plan would be. It sounds like you can go about 34 laps on a tank of fuel is my understanding of things anyway. Which puts you past the halfway point. So anywhere from, gosh, I guess probably what lap? 28, 29 in theory, maybe even 27. You could come in and do a short stint first, 4 tires fuel, run a longer stint to the finish, or run it all the way through. I guess that would more come down to just a call of what the tire wear numbers look like, because unless there's a significant tire fall off benefit to things, I don't see a reason to just not go the full length of the stint.
No, I was doing 34 lap stints all day long yesterday. I was getting maybe 20% tire wear. So the tires were worn to a percentage of 80. But not much tire wear at all, and frankly, not much fall off. With not a lot of fuel in the tank and worn out tires, I was setting my fastest laps.
So if things are going to get better as they go, then you want to run as long of a stint as you possibly can. I guess maybe that's where the overcut would theoretically work. Or I should say the undercut could theoretically work, is you're going to be doing your fastest laps of the race when everybody else hasn't quite got there yet. But that's only going to be in a handful of laps or so.
Yeah, frankly, I don't know if it's just a lack of skill, but I saw no fall off at all. So I don't think there's going to be advantage either way to the overcut or undercut. It's just going to be lap traffic mainly determining when you come into the pits.
That's a great point. You don't want to get yourself bound up by lap traffic. If you're going to catch them in a weird spot, you might as well take the stop then.
Exactly. If you pull into turn number 7 and you're getting held up by a bunch of lap cars, there's no reason to go and follow them for another lap if you're going to hit your pit window.
Slide back here, pick up Tyler Seville and Andrew Mraz, following just behind Will Worsler. That is 6th, 7th, and 8th on the speedway. Let's move up here towards the front of the field. Pick up A.J. Digby and Kevin Dick fighting for the 3rd position. That gap was down to about 2.5 tenths. Big corner exit speed into the backstretch by A.J. Digby. Open the gap back up to about 6 tenths as Avila goes big wiggling out of the carousel. The outer loop, technically. The bus stop is not the bus stop, it's the inner loop. And then the old carousel after it is the outer loop.
Never made any sense to me. It's the bus stop and the carousel.
That is correct. But also the bus stop is not numbered, which is interesting.
That's why the final turn is turn number 7 instead of 11.
That is correct. Going back to 1991, there were 2 absolutely horrific crashes at turn 5, one of which claimed the life of J.D. McDuffie. The other almost ended the career of Tommy Kendall. The track said, we're not putting in a chicane, we're not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. And as it turned out, they did put one in, because NASCAR said, we're not coming back unless you do something. So they put this in, but the track president at the time said, we will never have a chicane, and chicanes are numbered. So if you don't number it, it's not a chicane.
And frankly, it's one of the best chicanes in all of motorsports. It is so much fun to rip through. It's not like you're slowing down very much at all for it, and if you nail it just right, it feels like you're almost flat out.
So seeing that Bapsquehanna, Baps Motor Speedway, the World of Outlaws, first visit there in about 30 years, postponed until tomorrow night. So if you are looking for information on the World of Outlaws, they are not running tonight. Hyper Racing 600 Speed Week will be rolling out fairly shortly here, actually. Trying to see where we have some decent battles, and quite frankly, everybody is really behaving themselves. Will Worsler, Tyler Seville, Andrew Mraz, the only cars separated by less than half a second. Mraz has the peak down into 1, gets back in line. A little bit of a lockup there out of Will Worsler. That's going to let Seville catch up. Can't count out Hunter Waters here, who's in the 9th position as well. He was starting to make up a little bit of ground, but 3 of these 4 cars all belonging to the Will Worsler Racing stable. Braden Carroll continues to be your leader by 3.5 seconds over Johnny Avila, and he's averaging about 0.2 a lap faster than what we're seeing out of Avila. Possible trouble on the racetrack for Dean Gagliano. Let's take a look here and see on the NRN instant replay what may have happened here to the 33. Big lockup wide at turn number 6. He's off into the gravel. Able to bring the car back out onto the racetrack. Loses a couple of spots, though, in the process. Up the S is Mraz and Seville. They'll continue to battle. Big slide from Mraz. Waters now going to look outside of 4. Oh, this is going to be tight. They'll drag race down to the inner loop. Mraz maybe gave an inch, has to back off as Waters clips the curb. He may have had all 4 wheels off the ground through there. Quentin Clark and Bizzle going to work on each other here as well. A little bit of a wide run from Raz. Man, big dive into the corner though. My goodness. He is going to be right there. All over the back bumper of Hunter Waters. Raz able to clear him before they even get to turn number 1. The dueling back and forth, though, has brought Quentin Clark and Bizzle up into the play.
Hello. I can't see those two in front of me because I'm all over the rear bumper of Quentin Clark right now.
Yeah, we see you there.
In the bus stop? Nah. We're not going to do that just yet. We'll scare him, though.
We'll go on board with Bizzle. Oh, big lockup there. Oh!
No! Point the camera at me and I bit it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well done, brother. Gets the car backed up.
The program feed is I can see the damage.
That's cheating.
Oh man.
We'll give him the look here, but a little bit of damage there on the right front. You see.
It still drives straight. We're gonna send her.
Attaboy. Show you the NRN instant replay since we were in car at the time. Just caught a little bit too much curb and spins it back for. Wow, Troy Haight. And it looked like Jeff Yenish sliding their way through. Now going back to the live look. Let's see who we want to pick up here. Well, we'll go back to this Hunter Waters, Andrew Mraz battle. Well, frankly, this one pretty darn spectacular.
I can't believe I did that. That's the first time I've wrecked there.
It's interesting watching the different lines those two took through the inner loop. It's one of those corners that you can take it several different ways and be fast. It's not like you have to be apex precision perfect. Sometimes you take a little curb, sometimes you stay off the curbs. Both can be quick.
Yeah, I typically try to cut it as much as possible. As you saw in the incident one lap ago, I took just a bit too much, dipped the right front off into the grass, and it took the car right around.
Yeah, don't do that. Actually, in some
I'll try not to.
some of the wing cars that we broadcast when they're here, they talk about you're not doing it right if you're not aimed at the Armco barrier entering the bus stop. Like, it's a big transition to make.
That's how I do it in the stock cars, too. You basically point it at the Armco barrier and give it way too much wheel, and you go in too quickly, so it just understeers away from that barrier. But if you get on the brakes too much, you will crash into it.
This battle continues between Mraz and Waters. Hunter Waters way out into the gray stuff offline. That is not an off track here, though. That is not a 1X. However, turn 1 is very much a 1X zone. I think iRacing, in implementing the F1 style track limits, absolutely killed that corner.
Yeah, it used to be so much fun slinging the car all the way wide there, and sometimes if you got really crazy, you could send it 5-6 wide and bring everyone out to the Armco.
Richard Fletcher just coming back out onto the racetrack behind this battle. Kind of entered the racetrack just ahead, did a nice job staying out of the way. Fletch does the same thing up through the S's, allowing everybody to come past cleanly. Kevin Dick, AJ Digby fairly close here at about 0.3 of a second or so apart. This is the battle for position number 3. While we have a minute here, actually, well, hold up a second, because we are working lap number 15. Let's show you the guy who has been absolutely dominant in this race here tonight. Braden Carroll, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, owns the fastest lap of the race. already starting to make his way through some lap traffic. Looks like Tom Wilhite will be the next car that he will be catching, with Jim Thorndike just up the road here as well. But 15 laps in the books, approaching 1/4 distance down, 3/4 left to go here at the Glen. Braden Carroll cleanly around and through. He will see the green and white checkered flag and pick up the win in stage number 1 here at Watkins Glen. A dominating performance. Johnny Avila comes home second. AJ Digby, Kevin Dick, and Roger Rios will be your top 5 at the completion of stage number 1. Will Worsler, Tyler Seville, Andrew Mraz, Hunter Waters, and Quentin Clark also the drivers that will pick up the bonus points here in this first stage. Separated by 4/10, AJ Digby and Kevin Dick. That is by far the closest battle. The only other ones that are close-ish, Will Worsler and Tyler Seville, sitting about a half second apart. Andrew Mraz and Hunter Waters at a couple of tenths apart. We'll move back here and pick up Quentin Clark and Jeff Yenish for a lap or two. These guys separated by 3/10 of a second. Let's see, let's pick up Andrew Mraz and Hunter Waters because they're back to trading position number 8. Everybody else on the racetrack is separated by seconds. And not necessarily an unsurprising thing here, Bizzle, because these guys, they're mainly oval guys. They maybe not a ton of road course experience, but you also kind of find where you belong. Watkins Glen is very good about that, where you just kind of know where you're going to be on pace.
Yeah, until you smack your car into an Armco barrier. Say that Andrew Moore Jr. into the wall in turn number 7.
Yeah, let's...
He does a nice job of collecting that thing up, but that brings me right to his rear bumper.
Let's pick up the NRN instant replay and see what happened here. Little bit wide, caught a little bit of curb, loop-de-loop, smacks the tires. And then, while that was going on, or right after that went on, this happened. Bizzle looking down into turn number 1. Moore does not get a great launch off the corner. Bizzle able to come through with the entrance to turn 2. So Patrick now up to the 14th position, about 10 seconds back of Lee Campbell for 13th. Towards the good end out of the field, AJ Digby and Kevin Dick continuing this fight for the 3rd position. Dean Gagliano having a bit of an incident. He's on pit lane. Jim Thorndike locks him up big. Oh man, Roger Rios may have had an issue here. Take a look. I think that may have been an avoidance maneuver around the 59 of Thorndike. Well, yeah, both cars locked up at the entry to the bus stop. That was not for position. Thorndike going a lap down to Rios there. So we'll go back to the AJ Digby, Kevin Dick battle for that 3rd position. Yes, Jordan Barry saying commentators curse. Yes, it was. That was the most beautiful kind. Not only on board, but actively talking to the driver that you commentators curse.
Oh, man. Hey.
We do things right here on NRN. The gap between Braden Carroll and Johnny Avila is slowly starting to close in. Well, it was. Oh, Johnny Avila getting that car off the racing surface a little bit into the bus stop. Gave back all that time he had made up, but now he's starting to claw it back here. It's down to about 3.1 seconds. Oh, and Digby's off! AJ Digby hard into the wall, and the motor expires. Huge problem for AJ Digby. Let's show you the NRN instant replay. Exiting the carousel, caught a little curb. Oh, and just straight lines it into the tire barrier. Reminiscent of...
That one had to hurt.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon's incident a couple years ago.
Jeff Gordon had a big one. Oh my gosh, there were a few. I think Eric Almirola may have had one as well.
And this is the part of the race where the attrition is going to start coming. This track is tiring to drive. So that's kind of my last hope to get into the top 10. That's going to be a freebie right there. I believe that'll move me up into the 13th position. So 3 more to go, and this is top 10 for me tonight.
That's it. That's getting close to blind squirrel finding a nut territory for Bizzle.
You know what? I'd rather be lucky than good.
Ain't that the truth? So let's take a look. Here we go. Good battle here. Locked up behind Jim Thorndike, Hunter Waters, Jeff Yenish, and Quentin Clark. 8th, 9th, and 10th. Getting down to just a handful or so of laps left here in stage number 2 as we work lap number 22 of 61. That incident that AJ Digby had, Bizzle, quite frankly, any one of you guys could have that same thing. In fact, we saw you have a similar incident. Just the slightest bit too much curb and it's game over.
Yeah, the only difference between mine and his is mine was in a section of track where you're starting to get on the brakes, so I kind of gently kissed the wall, and he damn near took it down. But we're going to focus on not having another one of those incidents for another 40 laps. At least for my car. The drivers in front of me can have...
Oh, man, Jeff Yenish did the same thing.
Oh, man.
Take a look at it again on the replay. Down into turn number 1. Just clipped the slightest bit too much curb.
Saved the car, though. Didn't hit anything.
Yeah, did a nice job to lock it down, keep it going in a straight line. Gave up a little bit of time, but that's about it. About as close as you're going to come to no harm, no foul here at Watkins Glen.
I keep looking over at the replay. I've lost about half a second to Andrew Moore behind me.
Yeah, this one is getting close here for the 13th position. Just up ahead as well, Jeff Yenish and Troy Haight now battling for the 10th position. Take a look here. Will Worsler trying to hold off Tyler Seville, but Seville making up a bunch of ground in the battle for the 5th position. Braden Carroll has only 5 laps remaining. Actually, 6 laps, excuse me, remaining in stage number 2. Hunter Waters way wide out of turn number 6. That's going to allow Quentin Clark to make up a ton of ground, but Clark locks it up into 7, bringing Jeff Yenish back to the party.
Oh, darn.
Oh, sounds like trouble for the Bizzler.
I didn't
Patrick,
hit anything. We're good.
I say, having a little bit of an off track, but back to fighting here with Andrew Moore Jr. in that fight for the 13th position.
I had a little extracurricular excursion. I'm about to do it again here in turn 1. Oh no, this one gives you a slowdown. I'm gonna have to be okay, maybe? Ah, we're good.
Oh, trouble for Johnny Avila. Johnny Avila's around it into the wall just before turn number 7. Roger Rios comes around. Avila's going to fall back to 4th. See what happened at turn 6. The car already a little sideways, a little curb. Slides it down into the inside wall. Barely makes contact with the Armco. Lost a ton of time getting that car swung back around and pointed in the right direction. Johnny Avila's now going to have to go to work. Avila sitting about 1.2, 1.3 seconds back now of 3rd place running Roger Rios. There you see the 5 machine just ahead. Jeff Yenish able to get around Quentin Clark. Let's take a look at this one here on the replay as well. Looks like Clark may have had an issue. Oh, clipped the curb and just punted him straight out into the Armco. Right at the almost middle of turn 4 at the top of the S's. So now it's Hunter Waters and Jeff Yenish battling for the 8th position with the trouble for Johnny Avila. The lead is now 12 3/4 seconds for Braden Carroll over 2nd place running Kevin Dick.
Quentin Clark in the box. I don't know if the window is open quite yet.
Yeah, I think 27 is kind of right about where you would be. However, he did pancake the car into the outside Armco. May have gotten the meatball. Yeah, it looks like that's a damage repair because he's now over 25 seconds stationary in the pit box. But our boy Bizzle. Yeah, puts our boy Bizzle up to 12th. Tough break for Quentin Clark, having a very nice run right up around the top 10 before having that issue. Is now Jeff Yanish absolutely hounding Hunter Waters up through the S's. Good quarter exit speed though for Waters. Able to open up about a 5-6 car length advantage over Yenish down the straightaway. Right now, 13 cars remain on the lead lap, as we are down to 2 to go here in stage number 2. Andrew Moore Jr. running about 1:05 back. Is Jeff Yenish going to make his way down pit lane? Possibly the first of the stops for our race leaders. Yenish will come down, hit the mark, get his box. Crew goes around to the left-hand side. This one, you're making the passes, the pit stops backwards. Crew goes around to the right. It'll be 2 Kansas Sunoco, fuel for Goodyear Racing Eagles. And Jeff Yenish down and away, 14.7 seconds. Not a totally terrible idea, Patrick. If you're going to be mid-pack and a ton of time off the pace, try an alternate strategy, because doing what the leader's doing isn't going to get you there.
No, you definitely have to try and do something different from the leader. I think I'm going to take some damage repair while I'm in the pits. The car seems to be about half a second slow. And just over the course of another 30 laps, I think I'm going to make up that time. It's not too much damage repair.
Hunter Waters now on pit lane. He will bring the Hunter's Fried Pickles number 7 to the attention of his Will Worsler Racing crew. Hits the marks. Crew around to the left-hand side. Very quickly has that car up into the air, down and around to the right-hand side. Waters having a pretty decent run to this point in the race, running right around the 10th position for most of the event. And Jeff Yenish, well, I would say Jeff Yenish able to leapfrog Hunter Waters there as Johnny Avila comes around Roger Rios. Oh, and Avila goes wide through one. Rios back up to position number 3. Very quickly, already working lap number 31. Stage number 2 goes to Braden Carroll, picking up another 10 bonus points for picking up the win here in Northland Leisure, stage number 2. Gotta say a huge, again.
I think stage number 2 ends lap 35.
Oh, it is 35. Well, either way, unless he does something really dumb, Braden Carroll is going to win stage number 2. Troy Haight in the pit lane making his stop, as is Andrew Moore Jr. Interesting that we're seeing pit stops get made before the stage break. Must tell me that people are really close on fuel.
You can't make it to 35. You can make it to 34. You can't make it to 35.
Almost like Sam and Jordan planned it out that way. So then I guess the question becomes, as Bizzle's on pit lane, Andrew Mraz is on pit lane, when do you come down if you're the race leader?
Whatever you want. You're the race leader.
Well, yes.
He's going to have to pit before the stage ends. I would think wait it out as long as you possibly can. This car, it started to feel really amazing right before I came into the box. So if you can stay out there on the low tank of fuel as long as possible, I think that's the way to do it.
Johnny Avila on pit lane. He will have the 63 in, as does Will Worsler.
Stayed in, took a little bit of damage repair. We'll find out if it helped.
Pit stop time for Bizzle, 25 seconds flat. So gave up about 10 seconds there on pit road as Johnny Avila is down and away, 14.4 seconds. You almost wonder if the car starts feeling really good, do you even bother taking tires?
Absolutely. They will fall off if you try and double stint them. I was trying that last night.
Lee Campbell now on pit lane. Race leader Braden Carroll is on pit lane, as is second place running Kevin Dick. Here at lap number 34, Roger Rios is now on the pit lane as well. I would expect that we would see Tyler Seville come down as well. Yes, we do. The big turn for Seville. So this will cycle everybody through. Looks like with the exception of Michael Larch, who has not made a pit stop yet, but Carroll down and away, 15.6 seconds. Almost a full second slow there compared to the rest of the field. Kevin Dick down at 14.7. Roger Rios, 14.6. At this point, 3 cars being scored out of the race. Tom Wilhite, AJ Digby, and Dean Gagliano. Lee Campbell just going a lap down. He currently runs in the 12th position. Next on the list will be the 2 of Michael Larch, running in position number 11. He's going to be about 4.5 seconds or so up the racetrack from your race leader.
Oh yeah, they fixed this car up good. I just set my fastest lap of the race. We're down to a 13 flat.
Yeah, 13.086. The lap time last time by for the Bizzler. Currently running in the 14th position. Lee Campbell and Andrew Moore Jr. lying 2 and 2 seconds up the road, respectively. So 2 and 4, I guess. And let's take a look here and pick up Johnny Avila and Roger Rios. This is the only battle for position that is separated by less than 1 3/4 seconds. The only other one that's close is Andrew Moore Jr. and Bizzle. Oh, and Avila dirt tracking it out of the bus stop.
Taking some cues from the Kiwi, Marcus Ambrose.
Yeah. That was way off the racetrack for Johnny Avila. Man, Roger Rios does almost the same thing exiting turn number 6.
To a 1:12.5. Where was this pace in qualifying? I'm a full second faster than my Q pace.
When it matters, you're not there.
I suck at qualifying. I need other cars in the racetrack.
Well, there is something to be said for needing that rabbit to chase down.
Yes, very much so.
So following the full cycle of pit stops, the gap is 12.5 seconds between Braden Carroll and Kevin Dick. Oh, Carroll may have had a bit of an off track, though. Take a look on the instant replay here. See what happened out of turn number 1. Well, the off track wasn't there. Oh, he got way squirrely. Oh, and he pounded the Armco up through the S's. Now we'll go back to the live look here because Carroll, he's around. Carroll's around.
I like how it gives me a blue flag when he's spun around off the track. I think our marshals are a little confused.
Take a look at this one on the instant replay. Carroll, all sorts of squirrely. Oh, man, just straight overshoots the corner at turn 6. Slides the car to a stop. Has a huge issue and still does not give up the race lead. But the gap is definitely closed. It's down to 2 seconds between Carroll and Dick. And put Bizzle back onto the lead lap. I'll tell you what, Patrick, in these kinds of long races like this, that is so easy to do. Make a mistake, you're running on your own. It's hard to hot lap this place for 61 laps. And that's kind of what everybody is doing out here tonight.
Yeah, and you can make one mistake and then it gets in your head and it just compounds. And we saw 2 mistakes on 1 lap out of our race leader. Super, super easy to do.
Roger Rios, Johnny Avila back to battling for 3rd. Avila not close enough to attempt the pass inside into turn 1. Little bit of a lockup from Rios. Oh, they almost touch. Avila's got the preferred line on the first one. Takes advantage before the second of the S's. Put Johnny Avila back up to position number 3. And the gap continues to close at the front of the field. Bizzle not making life easy here on Braden Carroll.
I got to chase down Lee Campbell.
Well, that's exactly it. It's sometimes the lap cars that you think would let you through, they're entitled to run their own race. It's not like you're 5, 6, 7 laps down. You're trying to stay on the lead lap, and you're racing the guy who's right ahead of you. That's a hard get around.
Yeah, if Breeden gets side by side with me, I will happily tap the brakes, let him go, but I'm not going to park it on the front straightaway when I've got Lee Campbell in my sights.
Yeah, the guy we talked about needing a rabbit has the rabbit in front of him.
Although Braden Carroll will be one hell of a fast rabbit to try and follow.
That is true. Oh, trouble for Roger Rios. Was running in position number 4. Man, big loop up through the S's. The car almost comes to a stop. Does a nice job to keep it off the wall, but Roger Rios gives up a ton of time. Now there's your race leader. Braden Carroll, call it a car length and a half, maybe about 4 by the time they got to the start-finish line. Second place running Kevin Dick in very close pursuit now. And Bizzle is making up ground on Lee Campbell for 11th. Justin Rideout just ahead of Campbell and Byrne. And then the race leaders right behind. So 2 battles for position. All locked up tight here. Oh, Carroll forces the door open into turn 7. Nice pass there. Oh, big lockup for the 27. Down into turn number 1.
I was expecting Kevin to shoot it up the inside. Oh, man. That was fun. I bet Braden Carroll needs some new underwear seeing all that tire smoke in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, just slightly. Now, with the lap traffic out of the way, the battle for the lead staying consistent here at about 4/10 or so. Another big moment for Carroll, though, exiting turn number 1. Oh, man, Carroll almost put it in the fence at turn 4. What a fantastic race this has been. Helped out a little bit by the unforced error out of Braden Carroll.
Yeah, Kevin Dick is another driver, needs that rabbit to follow, and he's got it sitting there right in front of him, right on a string.
Yeah, and when you start to think championship, this becomes a very big night for Kevin Dick. If he can get through these final 18 and change laps, because at that point one of the wild cards becomes no harm, no foul, and a second place finish even takes one of the ovals and makes it a drop week. Another pass for position. Let's bring it up here. Bizzle able to get around Lee Campbell. A couple of laps or so ago. Leaders came past. Gutsy moved down into turn number 6. Nice though, because it sets you up for turn 7 and there's really nothing they can do through there. Turn 7 you just can't run the outside lane on.
You can try, but that arm coat comes up really quickly.
Carroll goes wide out of turn 1. That's going to close the gap down to about half a car length. Oh, Carroll may have kissed the wall again. He's going to try to cover off the inside lane. Kevin Dick looks to the outside. Has to back off. Big Pruitt fade down the straightaway. Not quite into the territory of a Bizzle. This fight for the race lead is the only one that's within a second and a half, so we're going to stay right here at the front of the field. Kevin Dick thinks about going outside. Oh, he feeds the little bit of right side romance to Braden Carroll. Oh, and they're sideways. Kevin Dick goes around. Kevin Dick gets the car.
Can I have another?
He gets squared away. But not before Johnny Avila comes past. We're going to take a look at this one from the overhead. Time for you make the call. Clean out of turn 4. Man, neither driver just giving an inch. I don't know how Braden Carroll didn't wreck that car there. There you see Johnny Avila come through. Drops Kevin Dick back to position number 3. We'll go find Will Worsler and Andrew Mraz. Big slide wide at turn 1 by Worsler. That will close up the gap to Mraz even further. This is the battle for 6th and 7th. Love the variety of lines that we get to run around this place. Johnny Avila now starting to gain some ground, ever so slightly it looks like, on Braden Carroll. Last lap, now there was the contact that was involved, but Avila was a full half second a lap faster. There you see your leader come through the shot. We'll go back to the fight now between Wursler and Mraz for 6th. Down to 13 to go. And actually, this pair not all that far off of Tyler Seville, only about 1 second or so. Wursler again slides it out of turn number 1. Coming around the lap car of Justin Rideout. That's about a car length as they get to turn number 1. Johnny Avila has closed the gap to the race leader down to just 0.7 of a second. Looks like you may need some help to get the I beat Johnny Avila sticker here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get that one, but I might get the top 10 sticker here tonight. That was my secondary goal. I've got Troy Haight right in front of me, only half a second up there.
Man, these guys at the front are so incredibly twitchy. Now, will you get any draft assistance here down some of these really long straightaways?
Yes, my braking marker down the back straightaway moves back about 100 feet because of how strong the draft is here.
Avila doing a nice job to stay right tucked in on Braden Carroll. Carroll a little bit twitchy at the entrance to turn number 7. We'll see if Avila is able to capitalize on that with a big run down the front stretch, and it looks like he will not, at least not yet, as we are down to 10 laps to go. Oh, and Avila's right there exiting turn 1. Andrew Mraz just coming around Will Worsler in the battle for the 6th position. A little bit of a shove up through the S's. And that's all she wrote. So now your leader's still saying about a half second apart or so. Bizzle able to come around Troy Haight. And let's take a look at that one here on the replay as well.
Bizzle's going off the track.
Yeah, it looks like he is. Nice move. The little crossover, almost a baby crossover into turn number 7. Now your race leaders only 2/10 apart with now 8 laps to go, this time by the line. Oh, Avila's going to be right there. Carroll, again, covers off the inside lane. Avila has to back out of it, but lap traffic will also come into play. The first of the cars they will approach will be the Will Worsler, teammate of Johnny Avila, Richard Fletcher. Fletch still a little bit up the road, though, but oh, Avila swings out, exiting the carousel. He's trying everywhere. Oh, they're going to touch and make contact into 6. Avila goes way wide, keeps it under control. That was equal parts left side loving and right side romance right there. With 7 to go, you'll give a little bit. Maybe not so much when you get down to 1 or 2 to go, though. Jordan Barry checking in. Wild battle for the lead. Yes, it is. Fantastic show tonight. And quite frankly, what should have been a cakewalk for Braden Carroll has been anything but. The crazy thing with how hard these guys are battling, they're actually still making ground on Kevin Dick. The gap now over 8 seconds as Avila's right there. Almost close enough to put the bumper to Carroll. Oh, Avila did give him the bumper that time. Exiting turn number 1. Avila's going to have a great run down the backstretch. Carroll, again, attempts to close off the line. I honestly think that's not going to be where Johnny Avila tries it. It's almost too obvious of a move to try to make.
What, into the bus stop?
Yes.
No, that's the perfect place to make the move. You set them up in the bus stop, you give them just a little touch after the first left-hander in it. It throws them off, ruins their entry into the carousel, you close it up.
Carroll's wide! Carroll's wide at 6. Avila looking outside. Carroll's going to be right there. They're banging doors again. Oh, Avila's into the fence. Keeps it in a straight line. What a fight for the win. 5 to go here at the Glen. These cars are going to look like Martinsville race cars by the time these two are done.
Oh, yeah.
Again, a big inside lane cover by Braden Carroll. Avila really had to grab the brakes hard. He was squirrely entering the bus stop. Both cars able to come through cleanly. Quentin Clark slides wide through the carousel, lets the leaders through. Oh, Avila's looking inside again through 6. Carroll runs a little bit wide. Avila just not able to get the job done. These two are wearing each other out with 4 to go. Avila's there, may have given him a little bit of a shove. Exiting turn 1. Both drivers sliding the back end through 4. Avila won't be close enough this time to attempt the pass into the carousel. Big corner exit speed for Johnny Avila out of the bus stop. Oh, and Avila goes around! Kevin Dick just now coming past. That's going to put Kevin Dick up to 2nd. No danger of losing 3rd for Avila. Take a look at this one again on the NRN instant replay. Carroll and Avila were both sideways and about lost it. Avila had to lock it down. Nice piece of avoidance driving by Quentin Clark. There's the other position lost. Johnny Avila now runs 3rd, and with 3 to go, this race is Braden Carroll's to lose. The lead sitting at 6.2 seconds over Kevin Dick. What an incredible battle for the lead. Well, I didn't see the comment pop up, but Cody Brooks making a contribution to the Bizzle Beer Fund. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. A little bit earlier in the show here.
Cheers, buddy.
I think because you only sent an emoji, we didn't get, it doesn't pop up in our, in the graphics software that we use to bring on the comments into the show. But down to 2 to go. Braden Carroll, the lead is 5.5 seconds and holding fairly steady. I tell you what, it's got to be a little bit difficult to kind of calm yourself down after that intense of a battle and just having to get into turning laps mode again.
Yeah, and I've got a very angry driving Johnny Avila behind me. I was getting flashbacks to Daytona as we went through the bus stop.
That's how Bizzle picked up his first ramen noodle sticker on the side of that car. White flag is out. One more lap, about 2.5 miles remaining for Braden Carroll. He has led darn near every lap of this race, outside of the exchange of pit stops. And he may not even have lost the lead there. I don't think he did, as one of the last cars to stop. Just 2 quarters left to go for Braden Carroll. The left-hander at turn number 6. Oh, and Johnny Avila has it off track. He's slow. Through the final corner, checkered flag goes in the air, and Braden Carroll picks up the win at Watkins Glen. Good spot for the donuts there, my man. Johnny Avila's right there, going to give a little bit of a love tap to Braden Carroll up through the S's. Might be more than a love tap at this point. Something tells me the victory lane interviews will be interesting here. Braden Carroll fighting, tooth and nail with both Kevin Dick and Johnny Avila on this show here tonight. Absolutely fantastic race. Let's bring up your race results. Carroll gets the win by 4 and change seconds over Kevin Dick. Johnny Avila rounds out the podium. Roger Rios and Tyler Seville complete the night's top 5. 6 through 10, Andrew Mraz, Will Worsler, Jeff Yenish, Hunter Waters, and Patrick Bird as Carroll Dipsy Doo Dumperoo down the front stretch off of Johnny Avila. 11 through 20 tonight, Troy Haight, Lee Campbell, Andrew Moore Jr., Mike Larch, and Justin Rideout. 16 through 20, Quentin Clark, Richard Fletcher, Jim Thorndike, Tom Wilhite, and AJ Digby. Dean Gagliano is your 21st and final finisher here this evening. Well, that was a show, brother. Congratulations on picking up a top 10.
That was a fun one. Oh, man. After that wreck, I didn't think I could do top 10, but I'll take first car 1 lap down in the 10th position. Especially with the strength of field that we get out of all of these guys. They are way, way more talented than I am.
Yeah, that's it. It is you're kind of in no slouch territory here when you're racing with these guys. Impressive show all the way around, but let's bring in our race winner, Braden Carroll. And, man, I'll tell you what, brother, initially it looked like you were going to waltz away with this thing. An unforced error brought Kevin back into the fight. Kevin has his little deal you're fighting with. Johnny, you really had to earn this one over those last 25, 30 laps.
Yeah, it was going great. I was hoping just to have another Daytona, But I clipped a little too much of the right side curbing going up the S's, and I lost it. And I hit the guardrail, and it knocked my wheel to probably like 10 o'clock. So I couldn't, it just wouldn't turn left. So I was really struggling up the S's, but I don't know how. I really don't.
Well, I
was trying to be as polite as possible while trying to get this win. It's my dad's birthday today. He's watching in the living room. I just wanted I just wanted to win it for him, and I mean that was the best I could do.
Well, I tell you what, happy birthday, Dad, first and foremost. But the other part of that is, at one point I said there was left side loving and right side romance going on between you and Johnny. That was an absolutely fantastic battle. How did you guys not wreck out of turn 6 with like 4 to go?
Well, I'm pretty sure Johnny wrecked. I don't know how I didn't wreck. We did the exact same thing. We went over the exit curbing too far or too early, and we both hit the exact same bump, bottomed out. I somehow saved it, and I looked in my mirror, and he was sideways, and I just knew I could just finally take a breath after all them laps.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, a fantastic show tonight. Congratulations on a big win here in the SimSpeedShop.com Premier Series. And before we let you go, make sure you get in all those big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Thank you to my main, Zeem's setup shop. We've been doing a lot of good work recently, putting in a lot of good setups for across all NASCAR. Check them out, teamzss.com. Shout out to my dad, man. How about that? Finally got to win. Should have won last week, but, we had the racing incident. I got to bring home this week. I'm so pumped. Thank you.
Well, thank you much, brother. We appreciate it. Jordan Barry sending some love there in the comments as well. We appreciate you coming to check in with us. And now let's bring up our runner-up here tonight, Mr. Kevin Dick. And I'll tell you what, you were kind of here, there, everywhere, and quite frankly, in terms of championship battles, these are the races you're going to go, yep, that one was a good night. Congratulations on the podium finish here, the runner-up. It really was a great drive for you.
Yeah, thanks. Definitely an interesting race. Braden, that first run just lights out fast. I don't know what he's done, but he's got this track figured out. I think Johnny was saying that he was practicing like just night and day, just trying to perfect the track. But I only come in here and practice right before the race.
Well, I think Johnny does the same thing. Maybe that's the ticket to success in the Sim Racers Club is show up and have fun. It had to be a ton of fun from where you were sitting. I mean, you had a great battle with Braden at one point during the race. It seemed like not only was he quick, but he was able to make the car really wide, too.
He was, and I found it really tough to make a clean pass here. That's why going into the bus stop, I figured, I got the advantage on him. I'm just going to send it and hope it sticks, but didn't quite work out.
Yeah, there was a lot of that tonight. Send it into the bus stop, hope it sticks, and then you're going, damn.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, man, congratulations. Just thank you for putting on an absolutely fantastic show for us here tonight. And before we let you go, do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, give a shout out to the guys at iRacing. Me and Andrew doing a great job. Shout out to Jordan and Sam for running a great league. Shout out to Custom Paints and Diecast for painting great cars, and for you guys up in the booth.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here. And, oh, man, what a fantastic show. One more Victory Lane interview for you, and it's going to be with Johnny Avila. And, Johnny, I got to ask you, was that a whole lot of fun after the checkered flag? Maybe a little bit of frustration, like I just could not get around you? You absolutely rode Braden Carroll like the entire cooldown lap.
Oh, that was just for fun. He was lights out this entire race. Like he deserved that win. He tagged the wall, got some damage, so like it gave me some hope. And I swear those last 10 laps that kind of reminded me of like Brad Keselowski and Marcus Ambrose, the way we were just beating off each other and just going as hard as we could, but not spinning each other out. And don't go there, Patrick.
It was
Not gonna say it.
It was a heck of a show. I said the same thing to Braden. At one point, I said there was left side loving and right side romance out of you two. How much fun was that? Because it was. I mean, you guys were just absolutely beating the crap out of each other.
Honestly, I was shoot, I can't even speak. I'm like grinning, like I have a full smile right now. Like that has got to be one of the most intense and funnest races I've ever been in, because the fact that we were able to race each other that hard and like not wreck each other was like astounding. And I was just thanking God iRacing kept the netcode in check. But that was a great battle. I lost it coming out of the carousel and ended that fun fight. But
I
yeah.
thought you were gonna kill me going into the bus stop again. I was getting flashbacks, man.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm not gonna let him finish ahead of me, even if he's a lap down.
That's why I let you by. I'm like, it's white flag. He's seeing red right now.
No, but it was a great race. I had a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. It was a fantastic show that you guys put on for us here tonight. Thank you much for that. And before we let you go, do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous here too, brother.
I'd like to thank everybody that puts this together. I got Zeems on my car. It's a setup shop that I make setups for the Xfinity cars. So if you guys are looking for any NASCAR stuff, I would say check them out. And I'd like to thank all my teammates, all my friends out there, you guys up in the booth. Honestly, I'm really excited to watch this race back, especially like those last 10 laps, because it was so much fun. I honestly had such a blast today. Even though I didn't win, it was amazing.
Yes, it was a fantastic show all the way around. Johnny, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here for a minute. And man, I'll tell you what, Bizzle, first, let's get the race recap from you here. Good show, man. Top 10, a little bit of a mistake, but all in all, man, just fantastic show.
Hell yeah, that was a tough one. I am beat. My my air conditioner turned off about halfway through. The remote was out of arm's reach. Oh man, I am sweating up a storm. I am ready for an ice cold beer, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one. Very long week, but we've got more coming up here tomorrow night on the National Racing Network. It's Oval Week for the U.S. Open Wheel doubleheader, heading off to the Iowa Speedway. Oh, that is going to be such a fantastic show. Both the C-Class and the D-Class cars are just going to be spectacular around Iowa Speedway. Coming up next week, we will have the Silver Crowns Monday night, 9:45, heading off to Nashville Super Speedway. The Sim Racers Club back on the ovals, and we are going pack racing at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Oh, this is going to be a great week of racing coming up here on NRN. We are looking forward to it in a very big way, but now it's time for Bizzle and I to get the heck on out of here and maybe find a frosty cold one to kick off the end of the night. But with that, we are getting out of here. For Patrick Byrne and everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these shows happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.